The views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at talkrealsolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of talkrealsolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not talkrealsolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
In a world where crime, corruption, violence, murder, rape, theft, and all forms of atrocities that plague the world in which we live in today, we are living in a state of chaos, and to a greater or extremer chaos restored on which the world we live in today. What's good, everybody? How you doing? How you doing? This is Chaos Rain here. Okay, here. Tonight. Tonight. Wow. I gotta say,
Look at it.
it has come to this. Some that has to be looked and examined. And I know certain commentators are promoting and revealing more of this, but I think it needs to be examined closely, like literally examined closely. Now, as you see for the images floating, and as I'm playing this interview on a latest podcast, right? She had some interesting guests came on, had some intake on this, but But nonetheless, y'all know it is. This is Chaos Rain on the TRS side of things. Like always, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. And if you're not following me on Rumble, what you wait for? My Rumble page is CRain23 on Rumble. So please make your way to Rumble. Matter of fact, I will do you one better. I'm gonna find my Rumble right now. And oh wow. I'm gonna find my Rumble right now so I could share this. So I want people to migrate to Rumble because there's some content that's gonna be mostly on Rumble, some on YouTube, some on other platforms. But nonetheless, Rumble is emerging. Popular belief, it is picking waves. And as I'm trying to find it, I didn't put it here. Let me go back. I'm trying to find a link now so you can follow me on Rumble. Oh, there it is. So, like I said, the Rumble is CRain23 on Rumble. And one thing, and the reason why I'm promoting Rumble, because there's gonna be some broadcasts gonna be over there on Rumble. For those that are, following me on Rumble, I will surely appreciate it. I put a lot of stuff on a lot of platforms, so don't be shocked, guys, that you see some videos here and you might see them on other platforms. So, like I said, the best way to follow me is there as well. Okay, as I'm trying to find the link. Okay, I found my thing on Rumble, so I'm gonna paste it here. And there are other social media you can follow me. You can follow me on Twitter at ChaosRain7. You can add as me and a friend on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. And you could join Discord servers of the Chaos Rain Show as well. And if my volume sounds a little odd or choppy, please speak up now and forever hold your peace as I'm about to go in on this one. Hmm. And I'm just looking at some highlights. But no, let's all right. Let's begin. Let's begin. And welcome those that's watching. And please, guys, leave a comment as well during and after in this broadcast. So Jason Black, aka Jeremy Lloyd Smith. Now he said he was born on 75, but come find out it says otherwise. This guy's born a year later, 76, and he is a Virgo, August the 30th. So roughly he falls between about to be 48 this year, which he says he's 48 now. So I don't think he was really much not accurate on his age, but could be wrong. So anyhow, it looks like he's back trending on certain parts of social media, and possibly might be faced with a serious lawsuit in the form of revenge porn. But before I go into the playing the audio of this particular live stream, you will notice that as I'm seeing right here, that I'm looking at his previous stories of him, roughly in regards to what he has of a history of. For those that's not familiar, and it looks like it says right here, the history of Jason Black is that it says he Southfield Road 95 Shreveport, which he's originally from Louisiana, yeah, was arrested by the SPD officer M. Mills on a charge of aggravated battery. The victim claimed that the suspect became angry and battered her with a weight bar on multiple places on her body. The victim had many wounds that matches the marking on the bar. Click onto this. On the bar. The victim refused to go to the hospital at this time. Now, I'm not sure what type of high value man he is, but it looks like he's paying people off if he's doing criminal acts. Another one. Finally, we have located this a picture of him from Shreveport, Louisiana, which he's from. And it says saying domestic battery. And he's on the run sometimes. So it looks like he might did some time in jail, roughly. And this goes to show to me when, and do I really think that people that consider faceless avatars that do content on social media, YouTube, should be the ones that really, I won't say not shouldn't have audience, but should be kept an eye on closely? I would personally disagree because there's no reason why people are not showing themselves on the internet for good reason. I'm more proponent that if you're going to be faceless on social media or on the internet or any digital platform and still do content, my advice: move and act like you're respectful and
Unmuted.
Can you hear me? Hello? All right, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's cut this. Don't worry about it. Yeah, 'cause yeah, yeah. All right, all right, all right. We good. We good. We good. We good. All right, we're gonna continue. Don't mind it. I had a connection issue, but like I said, uh, I I'll repeat what I said for those that's listening.
Muted.
If you're gonna do this, be and conduct yourself like you got some goddamn sense. And I've not written rules on how to go about this, but I'll say this for those that won't get to replay this, unfortunately. If you're going to be a faceless content creator, one, you must respect those that are either showing themselves on camera or those that not. You must act and though be courteous and respectful. Two, do not do ill forgotten behaviors or acts that could harm yourself and the person that you're communicating. Now, this could go in many ways. I'm not going to detail. And the third and last thing, do not engage in criminal activities, much less if you are a criminal by nature already. You should not be, and I repeat, you should not be taking people's information, taking people's photos of any ill will, and using it for your own benefit to the point that you got some on them, but they can't get some on you. I find that to be cowardly and bitch made. And this not only applies for faceless male conscripts, but also you ladies. And there's too many people out here that feel too big and bold to run their mouths and think that if they don't see me, I'm safe. No, you're not safe. You're definitely not fucking safe on the internet. When you fuck with the wrong person, people have the urge and the attention and the capability and maybe the money to find you. Like literally, find you. Do not be fooled that you're safe on the internet. It will come to a point that the faceless content eventually will cease to exist. And you're going to conduct yourself like you got some goddamn fucking sense. And when that day comes, I predict when that day comes, a lot of you know that is your so-called low-level or favorite content will no longer be on websites that they have to reveal themselves. In my opinion, that will stop immediately. And the reason why I say is because there's people like Mr. Black that does what he does, and for a good reason. And he took some concepts from Kevin in regards to Zoom call, where he prioritized to see what you look like. Yes, he does, but you don't know what the fuck he looks like. To me, that's wrong. That's definitely wrong. Now, if people want to show themselves on camera, that's to their free will. You should not be pressuring people to show themselves if you don't show yourself. And I can see why you do it. Because now you have a track record of doing some behaviors. And you're on the rung as well. Let that sink in. I can't name the many consecrators that I view firsthand do things like talk about other people's looks, but no one doesn't know what the fuck they look like. They talk about other people's children, but don't know who the hell they are. There's too many people on the internet doing this and doing this so comfortably because in their mind, people are not going to invest time and energy to find who they really are. And if you're a wise man or woman, or you have some sense, and you're dealing with people that are like this and are doing this, I would, to the people that know, do you see these non-faceless avatars or faceless conquerors? I would tell you as a person, my best advice is disengage as fast as possible. Disengage, because this person is not don't got the balls, the heart, hell, don't even got the confidence to even show themselves, but run their fucking mouth. I don't respect that. I never have, never will. And one thing you're gonna learn from any content creator that does show himself, like Kevin, and the reason I'm using Kevin is because people hate this dude, and that's fine. But one thing is evident: he set a code of ethics on himself to know that I will not cross this line. One thing he never crossed the line, he don't create beats. So many people out here on the internet creating too much beats. That no one knows who they look like, where they are, all that stuff. They do this because it's easy. Like literally. So I'm not gonna go more further in that rant. I hope I was clear on that. And this is another telling lesson. So now, no further ado, I'm gonna run the audio of this live broadcast. I'm not going through all of it. I gotta see how far I'm gonna go with this because it's too lengthy. So depending on it, we're gonna rock out and hear from the lady and why she has to go our way to not reveal what this man did, but what action she's gonna eventually have to take, which she's going to have to take anyway. All right, so listening on the line, I'm gonna give the call line if y'all want to participation on this particular broadcast. The call in number is 717-908-1834. I repeat, 717-908-1834. Access code 917-324 pound. I repeat, access code 917-324 pound. Let's begin with this clip, the audio clip itself. All right, listen carefully.
All right, all right. Peace to the room. Welcome to my space. I'm Eve. If you can hear me, if somebody could just show me that they can hear me.
We hear you.
Wonderful. Peace to you, Dwan. Peace to the room. I'm sorry it took a minute. I really needed to throw some things in the jumbo. I know that y'all know that I've been having issues with Twitter's elevator music. It's really dumb, but I think that it's better than just y'all listening to nothing. So
Oh,
with the
Eve.
baby, right?
Eve. Judge is here. Judge is here.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah, he's right there. He just requested. So, for those of you who are here, this was a space that Eve and I had. Oh shit! Somebody's calling me. My bad. If y'all can hear me, can't hear me. Somebody's calling me. This was something that Eve and I had already had planned out to talk with Judge, and then as you know, of course, certain things over the weekend happened that kind of, you know, but this was something that we had already had planned out, and but we have Judge here now, so we're not going to waste Judge's time. We want to get Eve. I know you want to set up with your questions, Eve, and let's get to talking to Judge, and then after when Judges say what he had to say, we can get to to talking about everything else. How about that?
I think that sounds good. Peace to you, Judge. Welcome to my space.
Yeah, well, hello. Glad to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Of course.
Judge, the judge is in the house. Now,
That's right.
Welcome, Judge.
And before we continue, as you know, Judge Joe Brown is from originally from Cali. I think he was born and raised in Cali and then lived in Tennessee, I believe. Yeah, so let that sink in. And mind you, the judge has traveled across the United States as well, doing his perfection. If I last time I checked, so he knows few people in high places. So let's listen and let's see what's going on. Fair use, or actually, or, you know what to do.
yes, sir.
So like Dewan was saying, we actually had already had this space scheduled. We've been trying to bring you guys uh, spaces that matter, right? Conversations that we think will move the needle. And the conversation tonight was supposed to be about The Color Purple. I know a lot of y'all haven't seen it, right? And it's a whole musical, so that probably already put a bad taste in your mouth. But I wanted to talk to Judge about it because of how it portrays masculinity and the absence of masculinity, and what better person to speak with about masculinity than Judge. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but
Well,
I met him at the FBA Expo, and I heard him speak about masculinity. And if you've never heard him, then maybe you should listen.
all right. The only way any people has ever achieved any stature in world history is through its men. When you have a concerted effort to destroy masculinity, it's not good for anybody because you defeat yourself. But The Color Purple started off, it was written by a woman who had a particular negative thing about black men in particular and men in general, even though she seems to have had somebody that she tried to start a family with, I guess. I don't know if she's still with him. The movie was horrible. It was boring. I went 3 times. First time I had a date and I was trying to get laid. I won't lie. But I fell asleep on it. Second time, I told a different date that I had eaten something that was disagreeing with me, so I kept going to the men's room so I wouldn't have to watch the damn thing. Third time, it was with a group. I just walked out and went to another theater in the venue and watched something else. And I have tried to force myself when it has come on late night TV a time or two to watching it, but it was so sordid and sorry, I couldn't deal with it. And I detest and despise musicals, so I certainly wasn't going to look at a musical edition of it. I think it is not good for us or for anyone. And since black people happen to be the epitome of cool, one way or the other, when they get us portrayed in a stupid fashion and we start buying into it, the rest of the country does too. I'll call to your attention elevator music or restaurant music. You're listening to Motown and Stax, and you're listening to things that 45, 50 years ago you couldn't hear all across America. You had to be in a certain city, big one, and be able to tune into a black oriented radio station or go to a record shop and buy the 45. Now,
And then, we've got
they took charge of their circumstances and overcame a lot. Doesn't make any difference what your race or ethnicity is. And this country has deteriorated over the last half century into a collection, a polyglot collection of people who think they are entitled to something because they want it. The only thing you're entitled to is what you earn. And whether you think that is politically correct or incorrect, the world is out there, and the world does not give a goddamn. It doesn't care. It's not fair. It just is what it is. And until you can accept that and prepare yourself to handle it and deal with it and prosper in it, it ain't gonna happen. I pass the mic.
Uh, Judge, how you doing? I have a question. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I have a question as far as dealing with like men dealing with men. In today's world, my age, I'm early 40s. We deal a lot with men that have now gotten really into this cult of personality style thing. And like you can't watch sports these days. If you watch sports and you say anything other than Michael Jordan or LeBron is the greatest, these men start crying like little girls and they start calling you haters. You talk about music. If you talk about anything other than the top two artists, they start to cry. It's like we've devolved into a point to where we can no longer have discourse about people that we disagree with or dislike uh, whoever a certain group may be in favor of. And so you see a backlash, this strong emotional backlash from a lot of men out there. How do you deal with these kind of cats, or do you just not deal with them at all? You did it, Judge?
You see, that's not manly. That's boyish. It's not a man thing. So a man doesn't need to bother with boys until they grow up, except to instruct them. We have a problem in that for the last 50 years, there are no heroes. You're not a hero if you make a lot of money for doing what a lot of
Now, for those that's listening, I'm slowly playing through it, and you'll see me fast forward a little bit because I don't want to hear Judge Brown rant a little bit. I want to get to hopefully the part when the lady starts speak about Mr. Jace Black. So listen closely and carefully, and make sure you keep hitting the like button. Let's continue.
Folk do for fun and recreation and also to waste their time and be distracted. You are a hero if you put your life on the line. I was just listening to something too that came out another space, listening in through somebody else's line, so I didn't get recognized, but they got upset today because the NAACP excluded some folk trying to ask for reparations. But they let some people who had something to say about Palestine do something. The way I looked at it, the people who had something to say about Palestine didn't ask, they did. The NAACP is being looked at as a villain, but they invited Cum Queen Kamala Harris there. And that was their little creature. So why are you saying to yourself, we want to say something that she is embarrassed to support? She's this group's guest, so we expect them to let us embarrass their guest. Doesn't happen that way. So nobody lets that happen, and ought not. Where in the hell you get this idea that you can impose what you want on somebody who's got a different position than you? But I just thought it was kind of silly. The dumbest thing I've seen in a while on X, I thought was quite funny. Some young girl posted video, and she's moving to Africa because they're using baby lions to make up for protein shortages in America. And she's in a grocery store, and what she's talking about is loin chops. Because she's so stupid and ignorant, she doesn't know how to spell lion. Lion, and she's taking LOIN to mean baby lion chops. So she's taking potential lion food and conflating it with the lion. So she wants to move to Africa to save the baby lions from being served up in American grocery stores. And she actually recorded it. And I look at a lot of stuff and I say, that's the problem we have. And I also, since I want to bring it back to the topic at hand, that's what the color purple is about. It's some bullshit that is conflating loin chops. We need some serious adjustment. And that, by the way, what happened to you was not manly. Pass the mic.
Yeah. To answer the way I see it, I just kind of came across a lot of this stuff. I didn't know what the hell was going on. Um, you know, passing along whatever you generally the way I deal with things. And if those of us who used to watch my show Craig Facts, we used to do. Those of us who know me from Craig Facts, we used to actually have this discussion a lot about there were situations on the show to where there were issues with a man on the show and what another man's woman said, and we would have these discussions about how if there's an issue between two men or if there's an issue a man has with a woman, generally, even if that the woman was the direct issue, you still generally address it with the man. That's how we kind of get down in LA. That's a common conversation that we have. If you have an issue with something, even if the issue is with the woman, if she has a man, you come to her because I'm not about to argue with no. And we use the other word. I ain't about to use that word up in the chat, but I say it. In LA, we be like, man, I ain't about to argue with no bitch. That's just kind of. I'm sorry for using those words, but that's just kind of how we talk. Um, so yeah, that's generally how things are covered the way I get down. And like just when private things get out, that's just that's not cool. You know what I mean? I ain't that's not cool in my opinion. But You know, people got their own ways of getting down. That's how I get down. But I don't know if you want to talk, answer to that, Dr. Short. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, very simply. Don't know all of everything, but I'm going to go here. I thought, in my stupidity, that we want reparations. I also thought we were in a struggle for manhood, womanhood, peoplehood. And we want justice, and we want a society where we can walk upright as people. This is what my understanding of what people are doing. People are collecting money. People are making all kinds of suggestions of how we should move as a people, as individuals. That's what I thought. Following, or however it is. And sometimes I hear there are only 3 people that are doing everything, and the rest of us are just kind of passive followers. However that is, I just don't think that this makes us stronger. It makes us weaker. And if you love a people, you love the women in your people. If you love women, you protect women. If you love your people, you love the children amongst the people. When you attack a woman, you attack defenseless children. If we're grossed out at what's happening in another part of the world, whether it's Congo or Sudan or Yemen, right? Or Ethiopia or Gaza, about women and children being targeted because there's a conflict between men, and we even think that act manly. You aren't, and we should even respect each other. That's man body. Let's love and respect our women and our sisters.
And that's where I kind of have an issue with everything that's been going on. Are y'all who? And that's where I kind of consent. And there was zero consent and legal. I don't know what all y'all want to talk about that time y'all be on, but the type of time that I'm on is.
The last thing I'm going to say, and don't blame me, I just look because I'm trying to understand. And there's a link between misogyny and sodomites. Don't blame me. Okay, let me get out of here because, folks, I'm not trying to tear, no, I'm not insulting anybody. Let's love and respect our women and our sisters and each other. Let's walk together, children. Don't you get weary. We want our money. We need our freedom. We need each other. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, let's get on to the
And
next. Go
look,
ahead.
on that note, a happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day to everybody in the room.
All right, I think now they're gonna get to the part where a lady talks about the incident about the leaked photos. So let's listen in. I know that was long. I have to fast forward some of this because I respect Judge and Short, but they can be lengthy and long-winded. But nonetheless, let's listen in.
Look, I don't know what type of time y'all be on, but the type of time that I'm on is what y'all see when I post. I'm not the type of person to post some shit that's not something going on in my life. That's not me. I know a lot of people post things that aren't going on, or at least they try to act like it's not going on or whatever. I'm pretty transparent. At least I try to be. Why? Because I believe that people should be the people that they say that they are. And I've never not acted that way, or at least tried to live my life that way. So to the people in the room, or at least to the people who are here for the mess, I don't know what mess you want to get into other than the illegal activity that happened when Jason Black, also known as Jeremy Lloyd Smith, posted private pictures of me. That shit's illegal. I don't know what all y'all want to talk about that type of behavior other than the fact that there were people championing it. Like, I would love for someone to come up and please tell me what someone could have done for someone to act like that. But every time I ask somebody, nobody can really give me a, yeah, well, if you do this, then absolutely you should expect this outside of consent. And there was zero consent. And y'all know that. I know y'all know that. So, to the people who listened and watched that program and downloaded my pictures and whatever, I mean, life is messy, right? But was it right? And then if it wasn't right, why are y'all so comfortable being around people who are so comfortable doing wrong? And that's where I kind of have an issue with everything that's been going on. Are y'all who you say you are? And if you're not, cool, but just go away.
I'll answer that question. Why men, and we could say women too. 'Cause women are a neighbor the same way. If they want to reveal the pictures of not only certain men but also other ladies, is because people love to see hurt. People love to see exposés. Hell, people are enticed to see another person, man or woman, reveal and put intimate images because it brings a sense of arousal to a lot of people. And like I said, we're very much disconnect with each other. As long as it's not me and someone else, I'm fine with that. We don't have no credibility or anything of any standard where, we don't accept that and we're going to not only not accept it, we're going to chastise it and do something. That's why you will see certain men, enough men, not all, but enough, will sit there loud and will put will actually allow a man will put out intimate pictures of other women, or even in fact, like to chit chat or like to gossip and tell their affairs with other people. It is what it is. That's my answer. Let's listen to it. That's why I want to give my answer to the one they call Eve.
Wait, like get away from me because I'm trying to do the things that I say that I'm out here doing. And you can look at what I've done and see that I am doing those things.
All right. I see someone raise their hand. I'll answer and raise the hand now. Who's this calling?
What's going on, Gary?
Hello.
What's
What's
going
good,
on,
man?
brother?
How you doing?
Yeah, so real
I'm
quick,
good.
I just want to know what's the young lady's name because I can't see the screen. I'm on the phone. What's the
Her,
young
name, her
lady's
name's
name?
Eve. Eve. She's in her mid 50s, I believe. It's a woman that is of 5 children. I think some of the children are adults, a majority of them, because she's 50 and she has 5 kids. Majority of kids are full-fledged adults. So, what else you want to know, Jay?
The guy's name is Jason. What?
Jason Black.
Is he somebody famous?
You never heard of the Black Authority? Jason Black?
His name sounds familiar. I probably heard him, but I don't. It doesn't sound like off
He's
top
the
of my
guy
head.
he's a man called the Black Authority that's on YouTube that talks about white supremacy.
I'm gonna check that out. He's a lawyer?
Do this right now, Jay, because you're listening to the stream. Exit out of the stream right now. Type his name up, and you'll see what pulls up. All right.
Jason again.
That will refresh you.
Black.
Jason
Right,
Black.
cool.
Jason Black.
All right, got
All
it.
right. Let me
Got it,
keep
got
playing,
it.
guys.
All right, good.
Things. I think a lot of y'all are in here because I do those things. So, mess. Like, I really don't want to get into a lot of mess, but Dewan, I'm sorry. I know I said I wasn't going to do that, but there we go.
It's okay. It's your room. Like I said, this wasn't the original intention of the room. The original intent was really we already had scheduled to talk to Judge about, but things happen outside of your control. Like I said, and I saw Judge wanted to speak, so I'm gonna get the Judge and I'm gonna get the JoJo and Conscious and then move on. But yeah, I like anybody else. I was totally thrown off guard. I was out having a good time, and I still haven't dove all the way into it because I'm, it's like, what the hell's going on? So I really wanted to hear what Eve had to say, and so this is my first time hearing a lot of this stuff, just like it is a lot of you guys' first time. And like I said, I'm not doing, I don't, nothing, I've never had any particular interaction, but I'm just going to say I'm speaking more in principle when it comes to me. In principle, fellas, you got an issue, you generally speak to the man's woman, and stuff that happens in private, keep it in private, because big picture, one thing when we're all, associated with a particular agenda, one false move that can be perceived a certain way, it can have ramifications and reverberate amongst everyone else that have a similar ideology. So we have to be very careful about things like that because stuff like that reverberates. But go ahead, Judge. I know you want to speak.
Okay, duty, honor, obligation, responsibility, and accountability. Those are the primary values that are associated with masculinity. Courage and bravery, physical and moral. It's lacking. That's not good what happened to the good sister here. That was not cool. I already said that. Doc, short, you talked about reparations, but that's an example. You have representatives to do things for you. That's their job while you're doing your ordinary job to help sustain what you have to sustain. We have a congressional black caucus that ought to be pushing reparations, but they're a good example of the lack of manliness. The only way I think from a perspective that I have, this is the third time in my long life, a moderately long life, that reparations has come up. But the only way we'll get it is by essentially a congressional enablement and appropriations bill, legislation. Why hasn't the Black Caucus, Congressional Black Caucus, consisting of Black senators and members of the House, done something about it? Well, they have a committee called the Black Caucus's Reparations Committee. Guess who they made chairman of the Reparations Committee? A white, gay Jew. That's who's in charge of the Black Caucus's Reparations Committee. That person's name is Steve Cohen. He's been congressman for the 9th District of Tennessee. That's in Memphis, which has one of the highest percentages of Black constituents in the country. And in 19 years, his preeminent piece of legislation is a binding resolution on the congressional cafeteria requiring that they use paper straws. So why in the hell do all of these black folk that are supposedly representing us, from Cory Booker, formerly to Queen Zella, are fake Asian or fake black, one or the other, Maxine Waters and all of the rest, turn something as important to their black constituencies over to a gay white Jew? Meanwhile, let's look at that. I'm not down in gays. Get your freak on in your bedroom if that's your thing. But let's look at LGBTQIA. They have a caucus in Congress too. And if you look at the pictures of the members and you compare it to the pictures of the members, PYT, pretty young thing, tight dress, and being provoke your neighbor into doing you the favor of popping a cap on you and taking your life. See, and one of the reasons that we have so much cowardice and suicidal ideation is because we are not acting like men And we know we're not. Deep down inside, you know you ain't doing what you ought to do to man the hell up. And that means you have no purpose, no cause. And there are no purposes and causes out there right now, except to get rid of all of them so you can get your freak on and you don't have to be a man. And you can deal with folk that hate manhood. You had a bunch of women that hated that they weren't men. Those are the lesbians, some of them. A bunch that hated men, excuse me, other way around, that hated that they weren't men. Those are the feminists. The ones that hated men, that's the lesbians. You had another bunch, they got swinging dicks too, but they hated they weren't strong men. Those are the beta boys. You had some that hated that they weren't normal men. That's some gay boys. And then you got all these folk in the anti-war thing 50 years ago, 55 years ago, who hated that men caused war. So everybody wanted to change the way men got raised so that it was about love, man, not war. No cap guns, water pistols, unisex child clothing, higher styles, raising boys, playing with dolls and cries, okay. And we got a real live mess going on, and we won't change it because we think we're doing something, and we are SOS, stuck on stupid. Now it's time to get it together. And if you don't know how to act like a man, I suggest you just read anything in about 2,000 years worth of recorded literature, plays, history, and everything else, where people all over the world, from China to Asia, that's Asia, to Europe, to the Americas, have written about manhood. You might find it difficult to find anything in Africa, but I hope somebody somewhere there wrote about it. But go read this stuff and see what you ought to be doing. It's informative.
Thank you, Judge. Um, we have some speakers on the stage. Before the speakers go, I guess we're going to start with Joe. I wanted to answer Judge's question about where are our heroes. And I don't know about y'all, but I find that we have heroes that we aren't even thinking about, so it might not be in the political arena or even in entertainment or whatever, but I have a hero. My husband is my hero. This nigga stood up for me in a very big way, and he didn't have to because I was all the way in the wrong with regards to some of the stuff that was going on. And I don't know how to show that this is where things are supposed to be.
At least she takes some accountability. Um, I'm more of a proponent. And just a pause for a second. Those who like and watch and stream, make sure you share this in your social media, and also leave a comment. This is some long overdue, and this was put out months ago. Now that it's starting to make its rounds, and let you know that the internet is a very small place, or they could say big place, but when regards to information like this, you have to scoury and look for that bad boy. She's in the wrong in regards to sending photos. I always was I had to put some thought to this about, is it right for people that's in a relationship or just for fun sending leaked videos and photos of each other on the internet? Um, the only answer I give is you could do it, but you do it to your own discretion. Because now, what I've learned, the internet is forever, and there is, to me, with the cyber crime of revenge porn, I don't think it's really a serious offense. Personally, this is just me, guys. And the reason why I say it, to me, it's not a serious offense because people are not doing years, and I'm not mean talking about 2, 3 years. I'm talking about years, like upwards to 10 or more years, and behind bars for revenge porn.
You didn't hear about Nature Boy's case?
No, Nature Boy. The reason why he got caught and I didn't know no content on him especially, is
Not
because
about where he got
they wa-
caught. Is the charge. He got a revenge porn charge in addition to the rape and all that other. And when he got found guilty, right? You got to look at each count and what is the maximum and minimum time. He got found guilty
Mhm.
for revenge porn, of course, with another additional charges, including rape. But
Mhm.
look at what that revenge porn sentence or the time that he got for it, and you could see that it's gonna be serious. It is. It's like you publicizing. It's like if all right before the internet, you publicizing somebody's picture on the TV, and everybody sees it on television or somewhere publicly where everybody could see it. And since the internet is a public domain, it's millions of people on the internet, social media. That is going to be held in. They're going to keep that in mind. So, I think with that, because you have access to so many people, they're going to make it serious, and the people that's going to put the pressure for that to happen are the ones that are the victims.
Well,
I'm
I'll say
telling
this,
you that.
I'll say
Sure.
this personally to really give a real pushback on it. The reason why I say that the revenge porn aspect that and to me don't I don't take too serious because unless it's doing time, and I can't use Nature Boy as an example because he is one of many weirdos that they watch for years now with his little so-called cult following of a whole lot of women and a lot of weirdo men, and they were engaged in perverse behaviors sexually outside the country, most likely, and video recording each other, you know, with consent. Because let's be honest, you put yourself on camera, you put yourself at risk. End of story. Don't trust that no one's gonna leak it. People should have more common sense, unless you're in the profession, which is the adult films profession. You should not be making videos of yourself having intercourse for your own indulgence. This is just me. So they got him on that and many other things. The reason why I say that until I see they start to take the revenge porn aspect real serious, what people doing 10 or more years automatically if found and it's been clear, it's not going to slow
I'm
down
look.
or stop anytime
I'm
soon.
looking on the internet, and it says this: most states penalize these offenses as misdemeanors, which carry the possibility of jail time and fines. Many also provide felony
Hmm.
penalties if the defendant is a repeat offender or the crime involves
Hmm.
making threats, posting on a porn site, or intending to profit from it. Depending on the conduct,
Hmm.
revenge porn could also fall under crimes such as blackmail, extortion, sexual extortion, cyber exploitation. So it goes into a whole bunch of stuff. So there's a lot of things they could attach to that will get you in a big situation with that. So I mean, you could have, like you said, you could push back. What we're gonna know is the
Hmm.
reality in the next 5 to 10 years when they start putting these laws into play, because that's what's happening right now. They're looking over all these laws that they haven't put in, and they see all these things happening, and they're right now assessing what laws is gonna have to be put in, implemented, or enforced online. So we'll see in the next 5 to 10 years. I give it maybe 5, 10 years, just like when we go on the moon and space, or I would say when the EV cars become a regular thing. So I say in the next 5 to 10 years, you're gonna see them stepping it up with this whole thing because the internet is like now the thing. So it's like now all eyes is on the internet and what you do on it. As time progresses, they will put some laws in place. And like I said, all we could do is see what happens, and we'll know in another 5, 10 years.
Thank you. I'll give it maybe a whole decade, most likely. And the reason I give it a whole decade because once we solidify with other factors, especially when it comes to the money aspect and things become officially digitized completely in the next decade, then those laws are going to be more adamant now. You get me? Because if they're misdemeanors now, they're eventually gonna make it into something more bigger, but at the point they can't do it yet because let's be honest, they have not the infrastructure and things that's set up now. They had to make a way where people are constantly officially where you're known on camera completely. You can't hide. Once it gets to that point, then it's gonna be easy to make it a serious criminal offense where you will do some time in jail. And like I said, 10 more years will set the example. So, but let's keep playing because I don't want to keep rambling. Let's keep listening to Eva and other people.
Gonna do it. Like, I'm not that person. I'm not about to tell y'all to do stuff that I wouldn't do or be any other way than you. So I just needed to say that. But um, Joe, you can go ahead. Peace to you, brother. Welcome to the room. I feel like I can finally exhale a little bit, but go ahead. You got the mic.
Say, space stuff. I'm glad, we speaking on it, cause it's about that time, man. At this point, I like fuck all of them, Tariq, to Professor Black, True, John, Jason Black, fuck all of them, because at the end of the day, this is like this shit got out of motherfucking hand. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when our sister lied his crown. This motherfucker that protect our sister. You know what I mean? Tariq, that motherfucker. And then he docks, y'all telling me she was a teller. You know what I mean? Like it's all kind of bullshit going on. You know, am I breaking up or can y'all hear me?
Joe, actually, your sound is horrible. I'm gonna drop you down and bring you back up. Um, who was next? Was it Conscious? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm waiting to exhale. There was a lot from the honorable, most esteemed Judge Joe Brown. I hope everybody was listening, but I want to keep the main thing. The main thing is reparation and legal literacy. When people do certain things, when they spread people's information and do there, if you know you have your literacy, you will make sure you're compensated, and those people will feel their maximum penalty for doing unrighteous acts. So it's really deep. I'm trying to exhale with you. I'm trying to exhale with you. It's MLK Day. I really want to have a dialogue with Judge Joe Brown because I know I wasn't even born when these things were happening, and he was there for that. You know, we got to have reverence into this day because I've had two reparation speeches where I quoted Dr. Rest in Peace Martin Luther King, and I've gotten my city to push forward 6 more months of reparations conversations, and they have given a budget where they didn't give a budget to my commission in my city because I've been talking about cash payments, lineage based. Our land.
I appreciate that. Also, just real quick to everybody, when Eve, Doctor Short, or Judge speaks, they can go however long they want to go. Judge, if you feel you need to cut out or jump in anytime, feel free. Just we'll get you in there. Everyone else, keep your
I'll put
comments.
my hand up. I'm just listening.
Okay, okay. Everyone else, keep your comments at a minute or less because I feel there's going to be a lot of people that have things to say. You can say whatever you want to say. Everyone up on here on the panel doesn't necessarily agree with everything that the people, or nor do we even know what people are going to say. But so you can ask your questions, keep everything respectful. You can make your comments, and just make sure that as we do this, we point everything back towards solutions, and we point things back towards all of us coming back into growth. Because, and I'm gonna get back to you, Jojo. You're gonna be next again because you went into the matrix, so you'll get like another minute to finish off what you had to say. Um, but just make sure that as we speak, I always say this: there are no perfect messengers. The reason why I say that is because, look, however people feel about people is however people feel. I'm not one to really. Like I said, this is all this shit is new to me. I very rarely even go in Twitter Spaces. The only Twitter space I generally go in is the ones I create, and I do Eve's Twitter Spaces because we generally talking about some education, some regular ass shit. Uh, this hit me like a ton of goddamn bricks, but I'm here. So, so at the same time, we got to make sure that we keep everything, solution oriented. Say what you have to say, and you will be able to say what you have to say without, but just keep it respectful. People don't attack anybody on the panel, because if somebody, I'm warning you right now, if anybody comes on stage attacking Eve, then at that point I'll use my comedic skills to attack your ass. But outside of that, you do what you got to do, and express what you have to say, and make sure we keep it all solution oriented. But go ahead, Joe.
What going on? Can y'all hear me now?
That's
Yes.
much better. Thank you.
All right, let me, because I don't know if a minute gonna be enough for me, but I need to say this right here, man. Because I'm very, very upset with the whole situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got people trying to stand in front of the way, all these motherfuckers like Jason Black and Tariq ass. You know what I mean? Tariq doxed our sister 2 years ago, so this shit has become a habit. He doxed that sister Yaya by that suspected FBI informant, Sir Major. And then all this old shit been rolling down here ever since then, man. Our sisters have been getting put in situations where people can goddamn disparage them, man. Ain't nobody, one thing about this Jason Black dude, I'm gonna just say this right here, man, because you say be solution oriented. I'm gonna get to the solution, but I just want to express the issue. This dude talking about talk about helping dude get women. He's supposed to be, some kind of coach or whatever. I don't know what kind of shit he be having going on, man. But anybody got they follow behind an old simp ass nigga that get mad because a woman got married on his punk ass, don't want to be with him, you know what I mean? And then start exposing her something that was shared between them online as if she was some type of groupie. It's a sucker shit. That's a sucker move. And any lame ass nigga in the audience or on the internet condoning that bullshit, you know what I mean? Like you use a fuck nigga, man. Straight up, straight lane. You know what I mean? Any nigga trying to attack this sister all because of what somebody else had put out there, you a lame ass nigga, bro. Straight up, man. Niggas is on some lame ass shit, man. This sister ain't did nothing but stood for our people. Just like the other two sisters that stood for our people. Lioness Crown, y'all, they stood for our people. So anybody got there coming at these sisters on this bullshit because they never put themselves out there like that. They can hold themselves respectable, man. Fuck all the motherfucking goddamn content creating ass motherfuckers that be on that confusing shit. Goddamn, and I've been waiting for years to say this motherfucking shit because my brother Ozone coming home regardless, right? So I've been really just biting my tongue, you feel me? Like, Shorty got that goddamn death penalty up out of him, and it's people like Just Eve jumping out there helping me. You know what I'm saying? Helping Ozone raise their funds, man. You got people in the room that done sacrifice and help our brother Ozone. So ain't no, man, pump all that, man. We standing for the cause, man. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't nobody perfect up in this motherfucker. Nobody's perfect. But at the end of the motherfucking day, when it comes to goddamn standing on being a man, let's keep it about that. You know what I mean? A man's supposed to be a leader. And all them niggas that be following behind this old bitch ass nigga, he's a bitch. Straight up. You know what I mean? Y'all niggas need to get the fuck away from me and stay ass inside or on Twitter or something. Cause y'all niggas ain't gonna be outside. I'm laying my plane, man.
I guess I should amend my statement with regards to the heroes. Black men who are saying things that they don't have to say in a time that matters. A time like this, I think that is a hero type of mentality or quality. So salute to the black men who are speaking up for black women. Yeah, look, sis, I feel like I already said I'm sorry for what happened, but if I didn't publicly, look, that cult shit is real. I'm not even gonna hold you. So when you feel like you're doing the right thing based off of people who are supposed to be doing the right thing, shit just starts getting cloudy. So on behalf of me, I can only speak for me. And well, yeah, that's what I try to do. Uh, I appreciate the work that you've done for the lineage. I've seen you outside, and that shit matters because our minis have gone to rallies with us. And at the reparations rally in DC, there were snipers and people on roofs, and y'all's heroes, or at least one of my heroes, right? Because I can be honest, and accountable for how I was looking at people. That nigga wasn't there. Jason Black was not at the reparations rally in DC. I don't give a fuck what type of pictures y'all saw. That shit is fake. Is a deep fake. Not really. I mean, those are real pictures, but he wasn't there. And when I started to see the light, I guess, which really is, I started to listen to my man more because society teaches us that we can do this shit by ourselves. So really, the programming is real on all these different sides. I'm taught that I can navigate this shit by myself, and that's not real. Lean on my man, and I start to see things a little bit clearer. The work that I've been doing and the lack of compensation for said work, the shit starts to not add up. I wasn't just saying the math ain't mathin' because it's catchy. That shit is all around me. The math was not mathin', so it's time to do something about it.
But I have
To
a question for you, Eve.
go ahead.
Because I know people gonna ask that. Were you like when all this went down? Like, were you married when all this stuff went down, or like? Because I saw you recently put a post up. Not that it matters either way, but were you married like when y'all? And did you ever meet him?
Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. No, I was not married at the time. For what it's worth, I've been completely honest to a fault inside of my relationship. And that's none of y'all's business, right? Cuz I'm not that person. While I am transparent, right? I don't talk about a lot of shit cuz it's not for y'all. I know that that's kind of maybe hypocritical because I was working, quote unquote, working. Can't work for some shit where you're not getting paid. So I feel like we need to change our vocabulary. But anyway, I was working on a channel that's talking about the opposite of what I just told you. I came to the realization that I needed to be doing. And when I started doing the things that made sense, other things started making sense. Have I met Jason Jeremy Smith Black? Yes, I have. I was working for him, quote unquote working, right? We got to stop saying working because I was not getting paid. All right, so I was doing things for his business that had nothing to do with his YouTube channel, and I met him. And yeah, I guess that answers that question. Y'all can do what you want with why he might have naked pictures of me, but at the end of the day, he tried to make me out as like some internet stalker, like we hadn't even met. And just the lies upon lies, compounded lies, the exposure, shit just.
And I have another question. Like, when did I start? I started seeing some of this shit. Some posts on like Saturday or Sunday. When did all this shit like? When did all this shit hit the head? Like when did all this come out?
Right. Okay, so basically what happened was at the end of our affair, right? Whatever you want to call it, I wasn't getting paid for the work that I was doing. And he was asking me to do some impossible shit. And I'm like, well, you're going to have to start paying me because it's impossible. I have 5 kids. I have a mortgage. I got bills. Like, I don't know. And he was like, no. And as much as that hurt, because I've been working for this man for 3 years and talking to him like every day, and just, the shit just was really strange. But y'all can believe me or not, I was like, cool, fine, whatever. I'm not about to sit here and try to force nobody to be no daddy or husband or whatever. That's not what I want. I got a whole man here who is an excellent father, and clearly he's a good coach because he was able to steer me off the cliff that I was about to jump off of. From there, I posted on Facebook, we got married, and everybody kind of ran with it because I guess y'all have been rooting for us the whole time. And we hadn't actually gotten married yet, but just it was I don't know, symbolic, right? But I think that in addition to me telling him that I'm cool on all of everything that he's got going on, I think he just kind of flipped. And then from there, now we're here, and I thought he was smarter than that.
Mm. So yeah, yeah. This is like I said. This is going. I was not ready for none of this shit. Yeah. My YouTube show. I just finished doing. I just finished talking about goddamn Fat Joe. and most Def calling Drake pop. Yeah. So if anybody, I'm just asking. This is to clear my head up for a lot of the people that are listening. So as people talk, I want to make sure that I'm kind of right. Um, yeah. So okay. So Eve, do you want to go
I
to
got
the
something
next?
to add to the mix if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Judge. Yeah, please.
In dealing with law and life, sometimes to really understand things, you have to flip the script, take a look at things in another direction. Um, we've been looking at Sexy Red, Lizzo flaunt their nakedness, their lascivious harlot whole ways, and people are beginning to associate a beautiful, well, in Lizzo's case, not so beautiful body with a certain kind of conduct. But we forget everybody has one. And when you have a sister who's got a good mind, good heart, like Miss Eve, beautiful body too, nothing to be ashamed of. And as a matter of
Oh, and another side note for those that's listening, the woman that he's talking about, she does put body work in the gym for her age. So that's I give Jason credit that he does like the women that are somewhat in shape. So he doesn't deal with any baby mamas. He does ones that put work in the gym. That's all I'm gonna say.
Baby mama,
Let's keep
she had
listening.
5 kids though.
Yeah, yeah, but they're married. They're married, so she falls under the so-called baby mama schism. But you
Right,
know how it is. You know
right,
how some of these people about baby mama. So let's keep listening.
right.
And mute yourself, please. We can hear you. Thank you.
fact, what Mr. Black seems to have done is advertised his own shame. Hey man, you had it. You had it going on. Look what was with you. And now you don't have it because somebody else had it because you let yourself down. You did wrong. Now, beauty may be in the eye of the beholder, but there is a thing about objectification of beauty. And if humans hadn't objectified beauty, we'd still all be looking kind of like chimpanzees and gorillas. So the women pick the guys that look like they're good hunters, warriors, providers. And the guys, the more they provide, the better off they are, the more choice they get. With the women, they pick the ones that match the standards of beauty. So here we are. We look like we are. We're a lot bigger than we used to be. I don't know about smarter, but we are where we are. We got from cave to condominium. So he blew it. And sister, you offer a great alternative to things, even though it was kind of weak. It was stuff that I hate to say it, talk about your brother like that, but it's kind of thing that girls do, not men. So I'll pass the mic.
Uh, I'm glad Judge said it because when I remember when I first got the news of this, and like everybody, my reaction was just, huh? Cause like I respect the brother. I ain't got no issues with him. You know, man. I didn't to this point. It's just like I'm not. I don't really get into people like that. It's like if you have some good information, I'm gonna listen to what you got to say, and I'm gonna keep going. So this shit threw me for a motherfucking loop. Like yo, because I'm not into talking about people, but there are certain ideologies, there's certain things that are true. And like if I'm just on the streets with my homeboys and we talking and we in the joke circle and someone pull out their phone and just start showing pictures of another woman, we gonna be looking at them like, like, yeah, okay, cool, nice pictures, but like we gonna still look at you like, yo, you why are you showing us this shit? Just I don't know. That's just how that's why I'm a little bit I'm not gonna lie, I'm disappointed. Honestly, I really am because just the way we operate that don't fall within the realm of kind of what we've kind of known to do. Um, I know everyone else has their hands up, but Today the panel is Dr. Short, Judge, and Eve. So as Judge and Dr. Short wants to speak, they're going to speak first, and then we'll get to people outside of that. Dr. Short has his hand up, so go ahead, Dr. Short.
First of all, again, thank you, Elder Judge Joe Brown, for coming, because you know, a lot of us are younger and some of these things are new. Thank you for modeling manhood for us today. Thank you. All of this is very hurtful to me. It's hurtful to me because hundreds of thousands of people, not one or two, are following what we do. You know, there's a song they used to sing in church, be careful, little feet, where you go, and be careful, little person, what you do, for the Father up above is looking down with love. In this social media age, everybody can see our problems, our issues, if we put it out there. When you put something into the cyber realm, you create a negative digital footprint that's almost impossible to erase. Do you follow what I'm saying? And therefore, you stain a person for forever. A person may have been angry for a day or an hour, but you make an act. And in a sense, it's almost like a digital murder or a digital rape that a person has to carry. And we who are around here who deal with each other, we have to choose sides. In fact, there are people demanding that people pick one or the other. And it's now going to bring and breed more conflict and issues. And why did you stand? And you know, right, that all kinds of folks are going to be pulled into what I consider a COINTELPRO divide and rule, gang counter game issue. And this is something that's been done by the intelligence communities to undermine Black forward momentum, where there are persons, and we've had a history of this, of people who create literally personality cults around themselves, supposedly offering freedom, progress, a forward momentum, a change of our situation. And some of the private stuff is just unhinged and unnecessarily. So we've seen the Panthers, we've seen the Republic of New Africa, we've seen all kinds of situations and where people got hurt, people got killed, people got destroyed. And you have folks who, frankly, I'll tell y'all, I'll go see and get professional help or counseling if I have a problem. I will go talk to someone. I'm not afraid to say I'll talk to someone to sort stuff through. So that way, how I'm dealing with others and myself has a standard and a consistency wherein one can get along with other people. This internet stuff promotes a lot of antisocial, anti-man, anti-family, anti-Black, and if truth be told, operative behavior that one would expect from people who hate Black men and Black women and Black babies' guts. We've got to be above this, and if one doesn't show a standard of self-control, compassion, respect, and yes, the Negro to move forward, he needs a new soul because of the greatness of what they contribute to their people, to the protection and the advancement of their women and children. That's greatness. A lot of people are as smart
that way. It's off man code. Now, we've got a situation comparable to that here in this Memphis area. There is a certain Miss Tawana Murphy who has a show she does for one of the stations around here. And when she first got here, She took up with a character named Thaddeus Matthews. Thaddeus Matthews posted her pictures all over the net that he took when they were intimate with each other. Thaddeus Matthews has, according to certain allegations, been a snitch who masquerades as a mild mannered investigative reporter for this TV show he does, off the cuff TV show. When you get into who finances it, you find out the previous district attorney financed it, sheriff financed it, and all of the usual suspects. So that leads to allegations that he is a snitch. He also had done some time and got involved in allegations and formal charges of child pornography. Purportedly, because of his connections for being a snitch for the DA's office, they let him off while he was already potentially, or shall we say, allegedly, on parole for other felonies. They let him off with 5 years suspended sentence. Some alleged that when he was doing time, he got to liking certain things that got done to him. So he has a problem he's apparently had for life over women. He's about 5 feet 6 or 7, weighs about 400 pounds. So he's not in good physical shape. And Miss Murphy punched him in the jaw and knocked him out one time, which is, you know, and that was in retaliation for putting up pictures out on the line. Now, Miss Eve, I wouldn't suggest you do that, but she did. And he promptly rushed to his car to display the horrible bruises from this horrible woman who knocked him out literally. Now, that's a real punk move. And you see, it's all about motive. Now, Beyonce puts out an occasional risque picture. So does J Lo. A whole lot of people have. Um, Cher used to do it all the time, and you get this, that, and the other going. But if she gets somebody putting her pictures out, she's already got it out that way. Woman goes out to a nudist resort, and people take pictures of her because she's beautiful. She doesn't care if you put them online. You might get a job out of it. Hollywood might call you, no telling. But on the other hand, when somebody pulls off what looks to be a punk play, saying, I'm going to hurt this woman and try and show her new man that I was there. Otherwise, I wouldn't have these pictures if I hadn't been there. You try to hurt her, but see, that's just not the way things are done. In a man way, you just move on to the next situation. Plus, you cutting yourself off. The next woman might be considering what to do with you. You're going to think about that and say, oh, no, 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 no. So one of the things men have to do is tailor their behavior so you minimize the negative consequences. And if you don't get that, watch the John Wick franchise. They say people have rules. That's what separates them from the animals. And there are consequences to everything you do. What you do, you should first assess on whether you're willing to pay the consequences. Now, what it looks like he did, I won't give legal advice, but I think it may violate some state and federal laws. So you put yourself out there where you offend some powers that be, well, you may have a problem. You may have Fannie down in Georgia who gets paid $120,000, $130,000 a year. She pays the boyfriend 690 some thousand, 650 some thousand to handle one case. The President of the United States doesn't make but 480. The Vice President 320. The Attorney General doesn't make that. But you're paying somebody that you're having the taxpayers pay for your vacation time on. You know, what time is it? So you have to be careful what you do when you start holding yourself out as being righteous, like Miss Fanny does as a prosecutor, and then she winds up getting on air at a black church saying black women are, we do our thing, you have to excuse us. Did you say that to the last person you prosecuted? Hell no.
It's hard to do when women are being mistreated. It's really
Supposed to be talking about wasn't reparations, it was the color purple and its impact on black manhood or manhood across the board. And this just dovetails in with it. It's an exemplar of way hell off code. Now, I pass the mic.
Thank Judge. To the people who have their hands up, y'all's patience is noted and appreciated. Immortal, go ahead. You got the mic.
all right. I appreciate it. And greetings to everyone in the room. Greetings to the host, co-host. Always good to hear the Honorable Judge Joe Brown. I want to congratulate you, Eve, for your courage to come out and tell your story and give your input, because it's hard to do when women are being mistreated. It's really hard for women to come out and tell their stories. We got so many people who automatically start throwing rocks at the woman and don't even ask questions about what's going on with these men. I appreciate what Dwan B said when he said, because that I was so thinking that when he said um, that ain't kind of something that we do as a culture. Like, you're not just gonna walk up, even if the ancestor said, talk about yourself. So I'm gonna do that so I don't get in trouble. I fell in love with a married woman. I was 25 or 24, somewhere in there. And I, oh man, fell in love with her. She was separated. I figured I could turn that into a full-time thing for her, that separation. Well, you know, uh, uh, time went on, and short amount of time went on. And she wanted to reconcile with her husband. She wanted to try it again with her husband. She let me down easy, you know, but I was determined, kind of always been kind of like proactive. So it didn't get bad, but her husband did tell me, man to man, say, look, man, I understand your mind probably is blown, but so is mine, and she's my wife, and we're going to try to reconcile. So I appreciate it if you just leave her alone and let us do that. And I did that. And you know what else I didn't do? All the text messages I had from her, all the pictures that got sent, all the places and times and places that we was, never came. I never spoke on that. Ever spoke on that. No matter how much my feelings was hurt, no matter how much I felt like I had been led on, I had to man up. And I didn't love women in my life, and it's most of the time it turned out good, and then sometimes it didn't turn out good. But no matter what happened, I never took the intimacy that they shared with me and try to use it as as something to harm them with, because I'm not no bitch ass nigga. That's why I love looking in the mirror at myself. I got the respect of her mother, her father, her sisters, her brothers. I got all their respect. I got the respect of her husband. I got all the respect of all these motherfuckers, because I ain't no dirty ass nigga. I love who I am. And that's why I can look in the fucking mirror and be glad. And I always tell people, I grew up to be the man I wanted to be. Hurt my feelings.
All right, I'm gonna fast forward this, guys.
Some of these women hurt my feelings, take my money. Brothers, we will come see you about mistreating ours. It's not a threat to anyone. This is a warning.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't care if your heart gets broken. And this is just in general. This isn't about anyone. This is just and you don't post text messages.
He posted my pictures. Like, that's
There's on code,
All right, here's Eva
off
then.
code, and do not kiss, do not tell. That you never, ever, no how, no way do. Keep your mouth shut. And don't confess. Nobody wants your confession. They'd rather hear your denial because it's reassuring. So anyway, That's it. I
Actually,
says to
that
Mike.
that's a really good point before we get to ODB. Don't kiss and tell. Look, a lot of y'all keep saying, I didn't know you had a situation going on with Jason Black. Why didn't you know? Because I don't fucking run my mouth. Like, the only person who needed to know what was going on with me is the man that I sleep with. I was about to be very vulgar. So just throwing that out there. Like, the only reason y'all know about this right now is because he posted my pictures. Like, that's, I'm
Eve, I'm
still very.
bring up that point. Like I said, we talk, we do our Twitter Spaces, but outside our Twitter Spaces, and but we follow each other on Facebook and Twitter. Part of the reason why I was thrown off is because I didn't see you post anything. I had no clue. Last I checked, y'all was cool. Like you was in. I don't. And I'm never. That's what threw me off. You didn't. I didn't see you say anything. I didn't know.
Let's get to ODB. I feel like he might have something to say about me not saying something. Go ahead, ODB.
Oh yeah, you are. I mean, I said so. What? Shout out to you. You know, your husband came, like you said, and defended your honor over in the space. And hopefully, you guys don't take that the wrong. When I'm blowing the whistle, I am a former military police officer, bro. I'm about safety. You feel me? And I think at the end of the day, you was engaging in some things that might have not been safe and putting the whole community in danger. You feel me? So I have one question for you. How long have you known Jeremy Smith? When is the first time that you've seen him? When was the first time? Because apparently 2 years ago, this picture of his mugshot has been floating around with the fact that he beat a woman with a weight bar. You see what I'm saying? How long have you known this person to be who he is?
I met Jeremy Smith in October of last year. And for what it's worth, while I had seen the picture, I wasn't really putting two to two together because he is bald now and he has gained some weight. And like, I guess if I had really been thinking that that was him the whole time, I might have made the connection. But I made the connection the last time I saw him, when I saw his name on his credit card. The shit said Jeremy, and everything was like, whoa, oh shit. Let me look this shit up again. And then, I don't know, a lot of things stopped making sense, and I couldn't ignore it. And for what it's worth, this isn't anything foreign to what my dude knew what was going on, because I had been not working because I wasn't getting paid. Like, that was the thing. Go ahead.
I'm not. Like I said, that man is a grown man. I respect him. Like I said in my space, I don't really not here to inquire about you or your relationship. But I know this to be a lineal thing that we're doing. You feel me? And I've noticed, like Judge been saying, it's a thing about accountability. And people have been throwing a lot of different words around. I think what happened to you is atrocious in nature, egregious in nature, unacceptable from any man in our community. You know what I mean? You got to understand what it does to your credibility and what it looks like when you say there's been a video flyer floating around for this man 2 years. You know what I mean? You say you've known the man for a year, and that it seems like it comes off very self-serving. You know what I mean? It
I
comes
can
off very
see that.
self-serving.
Look. I can see
Yeah.
that. But the self-serving aspect, I guess what y'all are missing is what I don't publicize. Y'all don't know a lot of stuff that I do because I don't publicize it. And the things that I were doing with regards to his work and his documentaries and that sort of thing, y'all didn't know that stuff because I didn't publicize that stuff. I think if you had, there would be more questions about, am I getting paid? I don't know if y'all know, but that's a whole running thing right now with mods who are not getting paid and having to quit the mod business. But if you're not getting paid, is it a business? I don't know. I'm having some real conflicts with the words that we're using for the work that's being done. And if we're all supposed to be volunteering, then I guess that should be made known, but that was not made known. And since it wasn't made known that this was just this whole big volunteer opportunity, the work that I was doing, I should be paid for that. And it's not work for Black empowerment. That's not it. I if I'm bringing in real money to your business, I should get paid for that work. There's a lot of things that will probably come out from all of this that
Real quick, Eve. So, was your issue over modding or was it work outside of modding? That's where I'm confused.
it's all intertwined because, like, if anybody listened to any of his most recent programs, he's saying that I was a disgruntled mod. And mods, for anybody who doesn't know, that's just a person on YouTube who's working a chat. Like, I think that if a person's having like a 3 hour broadcast and they got specific rules and shit, and then you get cussed out if you don't follow the rule, you should probably get paid for that. But I wasn't necessarily pushing for pay there. I was pushing for pay on the actual outside world things that I were doing, being introduced to people as executive producer on projects and shit like that. So
Okay, so you were talking about more so for it's a film or something. That's where you were concerned because if people here just mod from the chat room, they're gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" So are you saying it was like a film or something else on that you were working on?
right, I was working on what his most recent documentary that hasn't come out yet.
Okay, now it's making sense to me. Now it's
So
making okay.
I
Gotcha.
met him because we were working on the documentary. And like ODB said, we were not necessarily engaged in an appropriate relationship, but that's my private life. Like, y'all are putting me on some weird ass pedestal or stake. I'm not quite
Can I can
sure
I say
because
can I say this respectfully? Because I've been waiting my turn for a long
I'm
time.
gonna let you speak. I'm gonna let you
Okay.
speak. Give me a second. All I'm saying is that when it comes down to who he is, I'm a person, ODB, who can look at a person's past and then use what they are doing every day to say if this is a person who is that person or is not that person. And I'd never seen any abuse, so I just kind of wrote it off until, like I just told you, the math stopped mathing for a lot of stuff. And that's just me. I self-serving, like you just said. Like, I wasn't thinking about anything more than what I just told you, which is I've been working on things and trying to get compensated for the work that I've been doing, in addition to all of the other things that y'all know that I do, things that I do publicize: reparations task force meetings, rallies, teaching at a black school, having foundational Black American Sunday school. So go ahead, ODB.
Okay, thank you. All right, thanks. Um, at the end of the day, so this is the point I want to make clear. I don't think anybody is putting you on a pedestal, but there has to be a level of accountability, even when it comes to our women that are in this quote unquote movement with us. You feel me? At the end of the day, I heard you come up with a lot of good ideas. You came up with an idea about a daycare. You feel me? How would I entrust one Just Eve with the most precious thing in my life, my daughter? You feel me? When I feel like looking out the situation outside in, she not only does not have the wherewithal to establish like this is a criminal that I have had a picture with and I've been with this guy and I only apparently you only made the connection for the math to start mathing when you figured out you weren't getting paid, which I'm a contractor for a business contractor. I do terms and agreements for my payment prior to my work. That's just how it goes. Anything else can be subject to what you accept as payment. Now, if you are accepting social currency as payment, that's what you and the people in y'all community that are mods, you need to make a modders union and establish the fact that y'all need terms and agreements for these people that you are dealing with before y'all get paid.
Let's put it back on track. Because I want to make sure that was clear. She
Man,
wasn't
it
talking
seems
about
like
pay.
every 5 seconds I really try to
She
talk
wasn't talking
about
about
points
pay
that are
for
all
modding.
correlating, and it's really getting on my
Hold
nerves.
on, brother. Hold on. Stop the bullshit. I'm just trying to keep everything on track. You get to speak. But I did say niggas only get 1 minute. You've been talking for 2, so chill. Um, but I was just trying to get it back online because I was confused with that too. She was not talking about getting paid for modding. She was talking about getting paid for a film that she was working on. And so I just want to make sure that that part was clear. That's all I wanted to do. Well, go
Okay,
ahead.
my bad. Go ahead. But yeah, whatever you do that is for if you consider yourself a for-profit entity, you should establish terms and conditions. Thanks for the correction. You feel me? But what I am saying is you had these plans, these grandiose ideas, which I think they were great ideas, establishing daycares, teaching centers for these black kids. You guys as the, coming from this community, as people that, how can you do that when you saying, for a year and a half, I dated this criminal that this, and first and foremost, let me start with this. Faceless leaders need to stop, bro. No faceless leaders, bro. Point blank period for no grown men. We don't.
Okay, we got it. Keep
Yeah,
going.
for the Batman. We don't do the Batman. But at the end of the day, so you're saying we are supposed to believe for a year and a half you're around this man that
No,
you can see mug shots for two. Okay.
What I'm saying, ODB, is, and I'm gonna let you go because I understand where you're coming from, and I can only tell you the truth. Like, he even says, listen to both sides of the story, and it's funny because like he always only listened to my side of the story. He never wanted to talk to my man, even though the opportunity arose a few different times. But I guess that's another conversation for a different day. I met him in October, and I reaffirmed what I thought, at least with regards to, look, I need to get paid for this stuff. What's up? All of that happened
October
in
2022
October.
or October 2023? Just make it clear.
October 2023.
So 3 months ago.
Correct.
Okay.
So again, after it was established that I was not going to be paid and all of the other stuff that I just told you, the timing of all of it, sure, coincidental or whatever, that's just what happened. And since I'm not going to belabor the issue, you can feel how you want to feel, but that is what happened. And to a big point, he was trying to act like he hadn't even met me, and I think that is crazy. But Kenny, I see your hand is up. Go ahead, sis.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and happy MLK Day. Thank you to the speakers for hosting the space. And I just want to say, Eve, I admire you being so courageous and coming forward and dealing with this. A lot of people, it could have, just said, you know what, I'm going to stick my head in the sand. This is really embarrassing. I don't want to deal with this. I'm just going to go somewhere and hide and hope for things to blow off. But you said, you know what? There's work that needs to be done. I'm not perfect. Nobody in this movement is perfect. And I'm really proud of you. And I'm really proud of your husband. I know that you're a good mom. You do your best as far as working for the movement to uplift sisterhood. And like I said, nobody's perfect, but you all are standing together as a unified front. And especially now, I think you said you have 5 kids, right? And you're a great mother, right? You have 5 children that you love. You have 5 children that man loves with you. And in this day, there are so many people disparaging single moms and saying, oh, you're worthless. Oh, you're this. Nobody's going to want you. You have someone that wants you, who loves you, and who wants to protect you. So if you have that and you're able to have someone to commit to you, to me, it's just, I don't understand why anyone would want to stand in the way of your children being protected and you have someone to love, especially being that we're so quote unquote worthless. And again, I'll say I'm very proud of you and I want the best for you and your family. And like I said, no one is perfect, but I hope that this will inspire families and Black love to fight through whatever.
And that's dope, Kenny. I appreciate that. And
And
also
I'll drop down.
definitely I appreciate that, Kenny. But yeah, because with this,
Um,
let's go ahead, Judge. Go ahead.
I just got a text. Everybody ain't on our side. It says, Joe Brown, you misogynistic pig. What makes you have the ego problem of thinking this woman needs your help or any of your sympathy? You men are all horrible. She can handle her own thing like any woman can. You men are sitting up there trying to fool your damn selves and thinking that you can do something to help men and it's got anything to do with what a man does. That was what I just got. So anyway, I thought I would share that.
Pork
That's
chop
funny right there.
feminism.
That's funny right there. I'm gonna get you, Dr. Shaw. I just want to say something real quick to 2 points that was just made. The first point being, the guy earlier asked, how can I trust my children with someone who's going to start a school and yada yada yada. It seems like cats only play those kind of mental gymnastics when it comes to black people and when it comes to what we have going on. Look, man, when it comes down to it, people are gonna be people. This No one is getting paid to for black empowerment. As a matter of fact, black empowerment takes money out of our pockets, gentlemen.
Actually,
And
Dewan, let me cut you off. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I wasn't even going to do this. ODB, it's not a daycare. Foundational Black American Sunday School is an online community of sorts where uh, students and parents can join the conversation with regards to who we are and what we're owed. Like, to any parent who doesn't trust me, I would say that you should absolutely join the damn class and see what all is going on. I'm very transparent with regards to what is taught and how I speak to these children. And it's not a building. I'm not there yet. Maybe I'll get there, but with people like Jeremy telling people to not rock with me, and literally people that I have established relationships with their children, they're just gone because they've unenrolled from my class. Like, that shit was wild. Because at the end of the day, what have I said that disparages the movement? I haven't done anything that would disparage the movement because, again, what I do privately is what I do privately. Like, we're always going to probably butt heads about private shit because it's not for public consumption, but we are in a space where people talk about that shit publicly. So when my nudes got posted publicly, it seems like more than the right time to talk about a lot of this shit. So the timing it's wild, but I think that I've listened to the quote unquote new black media. And even if you listen to them, once you start applying some of the shit, again, what I did, ask for my tangibles, and then I found out that there are no tangibles. Well, damn, what am I supposed to do from there? So regroup or whatever. I didn't blow up any spot. I didn't go to the internet and again, like you probably would have wanted me to, like, I guess this is what you're saying. You wanted me to be like, this nigga is this nigga and whatever, whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm gauging, this is me. I'm gauging what I've learned. And from there, this is how I've moved. Go ahead, Judge.
Oh, you're doing it well. I finished. It was just I thought I'd share that. See, the driving engine behind what seems to have been happening to you comes from both sides because there is a move afoot in this country that's not healthy. It's a destruction of masculinity, and there are inadequate males that want to destroy that, and threatened females who want to destroy it. The past, and there are consequences. So, what are we going to do?
Can I answer
real
that?
talk. One second right here, because I just wanted to real quick on that point, because I'm gonna get to Linus. But Judge, going back to what you said about what's the answer, what can we do? It's all about staying focused on the mission and about moving forward. And to go back to what you said earlier about the lady that was mad at you for being up here on the panel, three men speaking up for a woman. What we hear all the time is black men don't protect black women, don't, and all that stuff and all that nonsense, which we know is a lie. Fact is, for the lady out there, if she's still listening, and I'm pretty sure you are, Eve and I, we do at least a once a week discussion, and we talk about topics. This topic came out of nowhere. This space with Dr. Short, Judge, me, and Eve was already set a week ago. We just were waiting on a day and a time. So this was already going to happen. But one thing about me is when, I can speak to myself, but I know Dr. Short feels the same way. You get thrown a curveball, something you weren't expecting, and from me, from someone who I listen to and I respect, from his broadcast, you get thrown a curveball. You don't back down because the block just got hot and because things are tough and because things seem weird, and back away because, hey, I don't know if I'm going to start something with you, I'm going to finish it with you, especially if I see a behavior that by someone who, other than up until that moment, I had nothing but love and respect for. You know what I mean? I absolutely nothing but love and respect for. But that behavior was something outside of the characteristics of something my personal code of honor deems as acceptable. You don't back down. You address it, and you be mature enough to keep about the mission and getting things done and moving forward without getting hung up on the person or getting in some group fight. 'Cause I'm telling you right now, for people listening and you silent listeners out there, I ain't about to get in one of these hashtag fights with you niggas. You know, that's how we move forward. No goddamn hashtag fights. How about that? Let's let the shit play out and let's let the rest of us get about the business of completing shit.
All right, can I say something real quick? How everybody doing?
Actually, Raheem, I think Lioness came up before
Yeah,
you.
I
Linus
did.
was
I
first.
did, but I would like to defer to the brother because I think he wanted to follow up on the manhood stuff, if that's okay.
Yeah,
All right,
thank
here we go.
thank you. I
Go ahead.
appreciate that. Eve, I sent you a text and you replied to that. I told you I support you, and sometimes when you support a person, you don't have to do it publicly, right? And I wasn't until I got on this broadcast and I heard some of the things.
Protecting black women. And God damn it, he was by himself by people who could have done more. I've seen more stuff around these naked pictures and all this other trash than when our brother could have been destroyed, standing up for our sisters. If folk want to talk about black women and dignity and protection, and this sister's a wazi, that's my word, Judge Joe Brown, for the warrior sisters like her and Jade. They're black women that'll take a bullet for the man, for the children, for our people. This brother stood in the gap, Brother Raheem, and we had to go begging. And I've seen numerous instances when people were doing the right thing, and these people who had the ability to nationalize and put this out where folks could come behind people on the ground doing the right thing. And there were bigger crickets than the one with Pinocchio from Walt Disney. And I'm not understanding why, when there are people who've shown character, dignity, manhood, Judge Joe Brown, if you don't know Brother Raheem, there are people standing up doing the right thing that don't take any shit being done to black women. And then when the system and these snitches and backstabbers and ops come for this person, they're alone. I call this fagonism. We have some weak, sellout, traitor, bitchified guys, and sometimes gals, pork chops, who never call us or come behind.
And did what I was taught to do, which is to go to men to say, hey, this happened to me and you need to check this. As such, they cower or they feign ignorance, so they do something different. And so there are black men in this space who have stood by me and stood for me that I'm really appreciative of. Raheem, Immortal, Dr. Short, and others. If I don't say your name, you know who you are. I had an incident that happened last year where I was harmed, legit harmed, and did what I was taught to do, which is to go to men to say, hey, this happened to me and you need to check this person. And that actually didn't happen. So, people will say one thing, they'll act, like they're cool or that they protect black women, but in real life, they actually don't. And so, it's sad for us to have to learn the hard way for those of us who are actually serious about this work. But the reward for good work is more work. That's how my elders taught me. That's what I learned. And so the work continues. We just separate ourselves from them. So I really came up because I did spam the Jumbotron. And in a way to answer Judge Joe Brown's question, he says, where do we go from here? How do we move forward from incidences like this? How can we use this as a learning opportunity or a teaching opportunity? And so for me, it's just like literally doing your own research. When we have a person, an individual who's faceless and nameless, who hides behind an avatar of Eldridge Cleaver, right? Failed Black Panther, failed civil rights leader. He was exiled from the United States, came back, he made penis pants and did all of this crazy.
Pause. Whoa, 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 whoa. Elder Cleaver.
What was that?
Elder Cleaver did what? Elder Cleaver. And mind you, I heard about Elder Cleaver that just Black used as the avatar of the Black Authority. Very questionable. This man admits and wrote books. This guy admits wrote books of practicing what they call R-ing, raping black women. And after doing that, he started practicing on non-black women. This is a sick motherfucker. Do y'all hear me? A sick motherfucker. I'm gonna play the last few minutes of this, and we're gonna call this a day. But really, truly, when a man up here making pants called penis pants,
Wow.
that is beyond sick. That is homosexual. Which grown heterosexual man is gonna say, "I'm gonna make phallus pants, pants that fit your whole body, lower body, including your phallus." Fair use, fair use.
Foolish, nasty stuff. Y'all can see it in the Jumbotron. And who had a philosophy when he wrote in his book, Soul on Ice. You can see that tweet. It's a summary of it in the Jumbotron. He actually initially raped black women in the ghetto for practice and then embarked on a serial rape of white women. He described these crimes as politically inspired, motivated by a genuine conviction that the rape of white women was an insurrectionary act. Anytime we have individuals, sexual deviants, literally.
One second, guys. I gotta mute myself. I'm back. Oh, wow. The man said, "I do this instead of going at the man, the white man. I'm gonna go and take your woman's pussy." And mind you, certain non-black women don't mind that. Let's be honest. If you look at most of their videos, if you look throughout the internet, that is a form of, enticing, unfortunately. But that's beyond the point. This man said, "I'm doing this because it's revolutionary." Nigga, you ill. You're sick. The reason why you lived as long as you did because you first deal with women, and they don't mind that as long as you deal with women. But once you start to step outside women, it became a problem. They already knew right there and there you're a fruitcake. Eldest Cleaver. And I always question, why does Jason Black still keep that? Oh, I see why. So when I look at his track record of he did commit battery, and he's going to deny it because he goes by a name just Black. He don't go by his actual name. And that's another thing I would say to people that made this far to this particular video. Majority of your content creators not only are avatars, but they don't go by their real names. None of them. So you can't really do a real actual fact check on them. It is what it is. Let's wrap this up.
Goofballs, screwballs, my father used to call them slime balls, right? With this ideology raising up Eldridge Cleaver, who was an avowed rapist, literally raped black women and white women. And we, that should have been a red flag, even on my part, right? I just knew that Eldridge Cleaver wasn't somebody, a hero, so to speak. And I was a Black Studies major at Temple University. Okay, so I never read Soul on Ice and went into all the details about this dude and how he was also allegedly gay for the stay in prison or whatever. And then he came out and made these penis pants. Like when I actually started doing my research on Eldridge Cleaver this week, I'm seeing that he premiered this product in like a fashion week in Paris and like was legit out here making penis pants for men, but not only for men, for children. If you want to see the prototype of that, you can look at that in the Jumbotron as well. And this is the final thing I'll say, and I'll land my plan on this.
Pause that for
because
a minute.
look, when I
Pause that. Whoa.
God damn, this nigga sick. Bro.
Yeah, he got problems. He got problems, bro.
Nigga got problems, man.
Real problems.
And listen. This dumb fucking nigga got this dude as his fucking avatar for his main YouTube channel. Imagine that. Wow. It's just unbelievable. For real. I mean, what more can I say? All right, how much more second? Let me finish play this, man. I got to get out of here. I'm been doing this.
Well, the tweet. First of all, I didn't even know, Eve, who your husband was online. I know I met you all in person, but I didn't even follow him. I don't think I even follow him. I saw the initial tweet with the individual's mugshot in it and a bald head dude, and I was like, wow, like 10 people had sent me that after I was offline for a while. I come back online, I'm like, okay, so nobody's gonna question this. I know people saw it, but no one saw it. When I retweeted it, it got tens of thousands of views, right? And then I became attacked by that individual. So Jason Black has claimed also in the same broadcast where he put or tried to put our sister Eve on blast that I tried to get with him, I tried to get with Tariq, and I tried to get with Dr. Umar Johnson. All of those things are false. First of all, I've never even had any private interactions with Jason Black. The first interaction I had with this individual was on a Twitter space that Eve had co-hosted, and then after that, some national story or something was trending, and I called into his broadcast one time. So all of that is a lie. No contact information for this individual, no emails exchanged. I don't comment under his stuff. I don't even listen to him. Okay. So I just wanted to put that out there. And those of you all who know me in person, especially the brothers in this space, you know how I carry myself, you know what I'm about. My record speaks for itself. Okay, I actually do work in real life. I work with a variety of people. Judge Joe Brown, I've actually met you before in Atlanta at an event. I think we were having a conversation with Dr. Boyce Watkins and his fiance at the time, Dr. Alicia. I'm serious and I'm about my business. I'm not about no bullshit, right? But if you want to start it, I can get with it. So yeah, I'm just gonna land on that. I just wanted to speak my piece. You all do your research, and in the meantime, we can stop these people from coming into our community by just actually looking at who they are and who they're raising up as icons. Thank you.
All right, that's it. That's it, guys. What's this? Sign up for that's community. I don't know about this. You can see my video entitled "Important Points About." Okay. All right. So I guess that's it. Thank y'all for watching today's stream. I mean, make sure y'all follow me on what they call Rumble. I have other channels, but I think Rumble will be the place for a lot of things. So please follow me on there. And that's pretty much it. But see right there, Jay, it proves shout that anytime a man worships another man, and we know the actual history of it now, and they don't talk about it much as a person asks why they will use this particular character as an avatar. It makes perfect sense because you're a criminal. You're a weirdo as well. Because why would me use any image or graven image of any man as an avatar, for God's sake? I don't use my own fucking picture, but I'm using some other man as representing me. That's crazy.
Wow.
No fucking background. No background. You know, wait. This man did what? He said it's a revolutionary act, and not only you create penis pants. Man, I'm done, man. That's it. Y'all can have this, man. Like I said, look for me on all social medias. Chaos Rain, you know I am. Find me in Twitter at Chaos Rain 7. Add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. Also, join my Discord service as well, and follow me on Rumble, CRain23, and become a member of the Chaos Rain Show as well. All memberships, 2 memberships. You pick which one to pick for videos and potential live streams and uploads. That's it. That's it for me. Thank you for listening. Until next time, take care and good night.